we have a lot of apps now that you can just type in URL in your browser and it pops up. That only works because it's all happening within that controlled environment.
The Weekly Friedman, your source for the most essential information in the default industry, with your host, Adam Friedman.
Many of the most prominent law firms within the default industry both have high employee counts and footprints spread across numerous states. This creates many technological concerns. Joining me today to walk through them is Senior Technology Manager Dave Seibert. Dave, how's it going?
Great, Adam. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. So look, Dave, you have an interesting perspective, right? Because you've been here for a number of years. So you've been here when our footprint was smaller, our headcount was smaller, and you've really helped us navigate those challenges to get to the point we're at now. So look, clearly, when you think about people in different areas of the country, where everyone's not in one office, that creates a lot of things the tech department needs to think about. What's high on the list?
High on the list is how do you get people the resources they need to do their work? In the old days, you have a computer or you don't have a computer. You need a computer, you do your work on the computer, and that's it. There's no other option. So you'd be mailing a computer out to South Dakota or wherever your employee is. And if it breaks, just hope it doesn't break. What are we going to do? The way we have it now with cloud services, the computers we actually work on are not the ones that we're typing on. They're owned by Microsoft. They're in a data center somewhere in Council Bluffs, Iowa. There's a big data center and there's a little green blinking light, and that's your MSJ that you're working on right now. And tomorrow it might be a different green blinking light, but you're still typing on the same computer either way. So anyone could use an iPad or any old laptop or one that we issue, and it can connect to the same work resources, and that is all under the control of our IT department.
If I'm home and I'm on my laptop and I'm working on the virtual desktop, which I'm going to start referring to as the VDI, which is what we refer to it as, I'm working on a computer somewhere else. But does my laptop need to have the requisite memory and capacity?
As long as your computer is powerful enough to show the image of what you're doing as it gets streamed back from Microsoft computer and powerful enough to transmit your typing and mouse and stuff like that. If you can do that, that's the whole game. Everything else happens wherever Microsoft is doing that compute. And it doesn't matter so much what your computer can do, as long as it can do that. One way this really helped me is back when I was going to court. You go to Queens County Housing Court, and there's people everywhere. There's no room for anything. There's no room for a laptop. And you wait for hours there for your appearance, just waiting around doing nothing. So you want to be doing work, but if you have a laptop there, there's no room. The corners are bumming the people. But an iPad, perfectly fine. You can bring it into the courtroom. Nobody blinks an eye. It's small enough. And you could just fire up the VDI on your iPad and close it every 10 minutes and talk to somebody, open it back up. It's there. It's tremendously convenient, and we could never have done that with traditional computers.
The VDIs have really been a great help in terms of letting people work wherever they are, whether they're in court, which is an added benefit, obviously. Are there other things you've seen change over the past 5 years from a tech perspective?
Yeah, for sure. For one thing, because everything is in the cloud environment, we can make things there a lot more free than we otherwise would.
What do you mean free?
So for example, when you're inside the VDI, we have a lot of apps now that you can just type in URL in your browser and it pops up. You don't get locked out. You don't always have to sign in, but it's just there. That only works because it's all happening within that controlled environment that we've created inside the VDI. Outside the VDI, we would have to give everybody permission to access it from whatever random location they are to keep it secure. We'd have to lock it down under a lot of sign-ins. It couldn't be nearly as easy. So if we're willing to take this extra second step every day of signing into your laptop and then signing into the VDI, it opens up a lot of conveniences.
So, one thing I've noticed with the VDI, I feel like it's actually made security easier. It feels like there's more ways to protect what our employees are doing in that environment. Is that true?
It's absolutely true, because we have our shared drive with all of our files. And if you need to attach some stuff to an email, for example, what I would always do is put all that stuff on my desktop, round it up, rename it, arrange it, get it ready. If it's just someone's random laptop, now we have our firm files just laying around on their desktop along with whatever other stuff they have going on. Because it's in the VDI, it's perfectly fine. It's still messy, but It's still in a protected environment. We don't have to worry about where they're placing that stuff, just for the convenience of putting it into an email or uploading it somewhere else. It provides a safe space for them to use a computer as they naturally would without any of the drawbacks of using a computer that we don't have control over.
One issue I experienced a while ago was when my work laptop broke. And normally when that happens, you're kind of forced to almost like rebuild the world you were living in on a new laptop. And what I've noticed with the VDI is that's not the case, right? Because you live in the virtual environment, and basically you just put that onto a new laptop.
If you're just using a computer normally, all that data is stored on the hard drive that you have right in front of you. And if you lose it, break it, whatever, that data is gone. With a VDI, it's all on the cloud computer. So nothing is stored on your own computer. You could switch back and forth between computers, which people do all the time. So you might be in your office working on your computer in there, go to the library, log in over there. You immediately see exactly what you saw when you left your desk computer. And it's all just happening separately from whatever device you're on.
Dave, I appreciate it. I think when you think about our industry, you're obviously focused on the law, but I think a lot of these elements, specifically in the tech field, they're, I wouldn't say confusing, but they're interesting and they're really critical to how we operate. So I appreciate you sharing those with us today.
Sure.
Thanks for joining David Seibert and I on the Weekly Friedman, your source for the most essential information in the default industry. Thanks for tuning in and looking forward to seeing you next time.